Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. 8 a.m. Actually, we did it exactly on time. It's great. How are you doing? Good morning, guys. Say hi to us. Let's see who is listening. We have 3 people coming in. How is your week, guys? Hey, we have. Sorry, I can see this. This is funny. Okay, I can see now. Hey, Mark. Hey, Wendy. Good morning. Hey, Con. Great. Good morning, guys. Nice to see you all here. I would like to just start with a really thank you and acknowledge that this what you're doing for yourself is amazing, and to listen all those topics around mindset, purpose, values, everything what we were talking about is so important in our life and business. And I'm so happy you are doing this with us, because I believe if you're implementing any of the tools we were talking about, you're actually getting some results, and I believe you have fun as well. Today's topic is the last topic around mindset, and we will focus on marketing and sales from tomorrow. That will be probably something that most of you will be missing in a business, and I hope there will be some tools coming that you will love. And today's topic, I will just start probably straight away. Guys, if you will have any questions, good morning. If you will have any questions, please ask, because values, priorities, or anything that we talk about our concepts, desires, are really similar and very close to each other. That means if you will need to clarify, bless you. If you will need to clarify anything, just let me know. I have David me today, this morning, but you already saw him. And he's going to help me to get deeper with values and really explain what we are talking about. And why values? Probably I'll just start with that, because that's so important. Because I actually have really great, I would say, imagination, because that was the picture that worked for me, and how I understand finally what is the difference between values, priorities, and all those concepts. And that was I think Chris was actually explaining that on the ship. When you have a ship sailing in the sea, and the purpose is the reason why you are in that boat or in the ship. Vision is the direction where you are sailing, and priorities or values are why you are sailing in that direction that you're going. And this was for me very great clarification, because I was like, oh, that's just so many concepts. And this helped me to understand actually why values or priorities, because values are priorities in our life. It's like ingredients. When you're creating your life, values are ingredients. That's the same thing when you are baking the cake, like the flour, the sugar, all that stuff, that's all your ingredients, and that's values in your life. And if you are clear on your values, they're helping you to make decisions very quickly and be clear on that, and making actually great choices and decision. I would say aligned with your true self. I think that's very important, because when you're clear on values or your ingredients, you can create amazing life. That's right. Yeah, Dave, do you have anything to add?
Absolutely. It's the values are constantly telling us what we prioritize in life is a real hint to what our values are. And often we have a value on something and we're not even aware of that. So it can actually be, I'll give you an example. We might value health and fitness, but we never go to the gym, we never exercise, we eat poorly. So in actual fact, we value, in a sense, the opposite of health and fitness. So we value lazy complacency. And now on the outside, we'll go, there's no way in the world I value that. But your actions will show you that that's exactly what you're valuing. And until you replace it with something more functional, then you're going to hold on to that value.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, that was what I like. That will be also the task or exercise, because sometimes we want to create this amazing life about, like we want to be successful, we want to look great, we want to feel great, we want to be healthy, we want to have a lot of energy. And that's our vision of our life. But when we're going down into values, we are not valuing health. We are not exercising. We are not doing anything. We are not eating healthy. We're going for drinks every night. It's exactly opposite of creation of that big vision or that life we want. And also simplify probably values, for me, it's something I'm always thinking about. Is like an experience, what I want to experience every day. It's like emotions that I want to actually have. That's why I always said there are sometimes concepts like when you thinking about your values, you know, it can be love, it can be happiness or freedom or excitement or adventure. It's just so many of them. And it became down to that, you know, point like, okay, what I want to experience every day, what is important to me. And I honestly, I think this will be very important exercise because that clarify for me a lot of stuff as well. Because I was thinking always like, yeah, it's family, but my action, I move basically further from family and I can't see family. That means I'm just looking for the value if I'm actually living the value, and I wasn't living my value family because that was the first of my values, family and connection. And I realized that I need to work on that because that was my value. And I was like, I don't leave anything of that. How I can do it? And now I'm trying to, for example, connect with my nephew and niece every third day or every fifth day. And I'm trying to really speak with every member of my family. It's over phone or Zoom or Skype, but it is every weekend. Every weekend I have with my father or my mom or my sister-in-law, with my brother. And it's so important stay in touch. And you realize after a few weeks that you actually have that connection. That means we need to really think about values. I don't know what is for you, what is important in your life, Dave, when we going there?
I'll just add to what you're saying there, Alex. It's often we'll find this, we'll select a value for argument's sake, as you said, family, and we choose that as a surface level answer because it sounds good, because it feels like it ticks the box to go, oh, that's something I should definitely value. But then, as you just discovered, when you started to look at your actions and the time that you're allocating to that, you weren't in alignment. There was this mismatch. There was something that was near and dear to you, but none of your actions, none of your you know, if you open your diary, there was no point in the week where you were allocating time to that particular value to have that that emotional connection that you were chasing. I've got 4 kids and a wonderful wife. Values for me, family is a massive value in my life. It's quality time with family, and it could just be something as simple as you know, doing the grocery shopping together, but it's a moment where we're together. We haven't, you know, we're not staring at the phone. We're having conversation, talking about the things that are coming up for the week, that sort of thing. It could be going to watch one of my kids play sport, for argument's sake. Again, it's getting to experience the joy and the moments in their life and watch them grow and develop into these wonderful young human beings. So, yeah, family is definitely one of my high priority values for sure.
Yeah, thank you for that. Guys, please, if you can share with us, if you understand, give us yes, you understand the topic. And if you can share with us some of your values, maybe like, what do you think? What do you live right now? I would like you to really be honest to yourself and think about values you live now, not what you want to live or what you think is right, but really your everyday life. And you think, and when you take your everyday life, what is that you value the most? What is on a top of your hierarchy list?
Mark's just put down, we have dinner as a family every night. That's fantastic. I
That's
love that.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have it's either Saturday or Sunday in our house, depending on the schedule of the kids. Because you know my kids are nearly 14 through to 21, and they've got these massively busy lifestyles. So once a week we come together as the family, and that means the oldest daughter's 21, the other daughter's 20, nearly 20. So they have friends and boyfriends and all that sort of stuff. But they're all part of the family. We sit down together as a family
Yeah.
unit. I love that, Mark. There's no way in the world we could fit into it every day of the week. We're never home at the same time to be able to do that, but we make that effort on one day a week. It's family dinner night. So I love that. So, Alex, a good thing for people to sort of think in that context is if they're thinking about the values, you touched on it earlier, it's a feeling or an emotional state
Yes.
that you want to experience. So when I say family, it's the love, the joy, the participation,
Yeah.
the binding that comes together from that. But other things might be things like happiness, joy, a sense of adventure in your life, and link that to maybe a task, an occasion, a location, those sorts of things.
Yeah. Yeah, but as I said, there's a lot of them that can be health, that can be integrity, it can be joy, like you said. It
Definitely.
can be some kind of maybe personal growth or contribution, career. So for some people, the most important is whatever word comes into your mind. It doesn't matter. Don't really judge that or don't even think about it, because for someone can be like being happy or happiness or, happy life. Don't worry about the shape of the word or how you will use it. It's more about what will first come into your mind. And it can be communication, risk taking, friendship. It's just so many things that our values can be. But exactly, like, it's important to, I would say, recreate that hierarchy list of the values based on your vision, like who you want to become. But because when I mentioned it's like a recipe, when you actually putting together values, it's kind of changing or determining your life, or what kind of quality of life you're living. And as I said, it's like what direction you're sailing the boat or your ship. And
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
and it's important because, for example, why we should be clear on the values, on our values, is also when you have a really big decision ahead, and it's something that you really don't have a lot of time and you need to decide very quickly about very important decision, then you need to go back to your values and say, look, this is aligned with my values. That means if there will be a job offer in I don't know, in America, and your priority is the family, and you can still stay in this job here, but it's probably less salary, or it's not probably that interesting, you will probably decide to stay even though you have less money, because no money but family is your major value or most important value. That means think about that. Sometimes values, or knowing our values, be aware of that, are really simplifying the decision making, and it's really, you can put less effort to make any kind of decision or choice during the day. And it's important in business, it's important in personal life, it's important everywhere what you do, basically.
So, totally agree.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of comments, we'll get to them in a section, but other things, some other examples of values might be to rock up to meetings on time. So you're an on-time person as opposed to running late, sticking to your schedule. So it's your time management and your way of being. Another one might be, particularly in business, it's delivering on the promises or the value or the commitments that you made in order to honour that contract or that obligation to a client. So
Yeah.
they're similar ideas that you can work through. So Marx has commented that he values his time in the surf. I love that. That's reconnecting with nature and totally recharging the bottom, charging your body. Alex, I know you're one for the surf as well, reconnecting as well. So.
I love my morning yoga. I love surfing. I love everything what is actually outdoors as well. Like I really need to be outside. And I think we talk about that with Mark as well, like how amazing it is sometimes just to go for a walk in a park. It's just really get that fresh air and have time to think and reconnect with nature. Exactly what you said is very important.
Mine's cycling. I like getting out and in the fresh air, and in particular up in the hills, and just getting that rich oxygen saturation into the body.
Yeah. I love what Wendy said, that she has Skype with with her dad every Wednesday. That's awesome. Yeah, we know what is important to us, and also I realize our parents are not going to be longer than us probably. We don't know, but that's why I always say, like, I need to spend time with them, and if I can't be personally with them, for me it's very important to give them something during that phone call, and just really bring value and connect and make them probably smile, and just kind of make them don't miss me that much as well, because we miss each other so much. And I guess that's another part probably of contribution, and all that together, that connection.
Yeah. So Sadiq has said has 3 kids, made the conscious decision to be more present at home. Great, love hearing that.
Awesome.
Learning from the my scroll button is right in the middle there. I keep missing it. Looks like it's with books. Value the family connection. Making sure that your body language is on point and communicating with perhaps the verbal message, and making sure he's not distracted. Holding space for them and being in the moment. Love that. That's just absolutely brilliant. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Beautiful, guys. Thank you for comments. Just keep coming. I will probably start to think how we can put this into the kind of small homework. I really have one thing that I want to say, because we need to think, as I said, about that core feelings or emotional states we want to have on a consistent basis in our life, to actually creating that vision we have about ourselves and our life, what we want to be. And great starting place is to think about moments that we actually felt truly fulfilled in past. Like really think about that, when you were happiest and when you really felt amazing and you felt like, yeah, this is it, this is what I love, this is what I want to do. And always is good to ask, what were you doing that time? How did you feel? And those answers will give you an idea what you actually value the most. That's just like a very short, probably tip, because it helped me to go back in my life and really think it like when I was really happy. I know everybody says always, it's great to be on vacation all the time, but I'm talking about real, real ideal days, and real, I would say real life, because we can be very easily bored when we are just lying down on on the sofa and drinking cocktail like 365 days a year. Let me really think about that. If you had some moment in your life when that was then you were really fulfilled, what you were doing, how did you feel, what was that actually fulfilled you? And because we know the purpose and values and all those concepts are really connected, that is really good to understand that purpose, it is meaningful goal oriented behavior. That means we want to actually have that kind of vision or purpose. We are here on this planet, and that's I believe that's something that is making us a little bit different from all other animals, because we actually can think about that, what is our purpose, why we want to be on the planet, and what we can do. And that's why we are working on all those concepts: values, purpose, visions. And for homework, do you want to add something,
Yeah,
Dave?
you touched on something, but I think it's worth just really making a point about it. When you're talking about your ideal day, it needs you maybe look through the lens of your ideal average working day, because if we're constantly aspiring to make every day a Saturday or every day a Sunday, well, where do you generate the revenue in your life in order to be able to do those sorts of things? So when you have your ideal average day or your ideal average week, definitely think it through the context of a working day, and where are you allocating specific work tasks, revenue generating tasks, income producing tasks, where you're generating the leisure activities, the recharge activities, the connection activities with your family and bonding, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, as you said, it's very easy to go, geez, I wish every day I was on the beach in the Bahamas somewhere. Yes, so do I, but I'm going to go broke pretty quickly, so we need to make sure that...
I can actually say it's really boring, because I went to Bahamas and I lived there, and I opened my small like a tourism and sport business, and that was so boring. It was amazing. I was kite surfing for 7 or 8 hours a day. Amazing.
I'm happy to try it for a few weeks and see if I like it or not.
Yeah. And honestly, 2 months, and I was like, no, I can't do this. Like, it's just too much.
We've got a couple of more comments here. I hope I'm getting this name right. Sadiq, or I'm going to say, is mentioned date nights. Date nights are brilliant concepts with your partner, and it's doing it. It's time together in particular. If you've got kids, it's actually important to continually to connect with your intimate partner without the kids, getting back to those days of, before children, so that the whole constantly rekindling your relationship as to why you're together, how do you connect, what's important to you in there. I love date nights are brilliant.
Yep. Thank you, Marilyn. That's awesome. I can see that my highest values, relative in evidence that is showing up in my life, continue to shift in the hierarchy in COVID time. Great. Personal development, business coaching, overall well-being, yoga. Awesome. I love yoga. Home environment, global environment, lifelong friends, nature, outdoors, family, community, location, travel. Amazing. Thank you very much for sharing. That's awesome. I really like that. And I think that's very visible, like actually all world shifted, like actually during COVID, everybody started to think about, more outdoors, more family connections, and actually spend time with family. And I guess that's something that we realized is actually amazing. It's really good change. At least something great was, delivered by COVID-19, I guess. a lot of things changed.
Oh, there we go. I was close. Sidki is the pronoun.
Sid-
Thank you for clarifying that for me. Beautiful. I'll
Sidki.
endeavour to do my best pronunciation on that one going forward.
I will remember that, Sidki.
Yeah.
And
Wendy's got, I can't imagine sitting on the beach. I like to explore nature and culture of everywhere I go. Love that, Wendy. Love that. Yeah. I'm happy to sit on the beach for a few hours and recharge, and then I'll go exploring with you. That's good.
Yeah, and I guess that's amazing when you can actually travel the way that, yeah, you have some kind of rest, but after that you can actually explore, because that's what is the point of traveling. You want to connect with people in the country and realize how they live, what are their values, and what is the culture.
Actually, a couple of weeks ago, Alex, I was having a conversation with someone, and we're talking about this whole COVID thing has shut down the travel. And they were rattling off all these places they wanted to go. And it was like this checklist of just, no, that's it. I'm going to travel. I'm going to go see this. I'm going to see this. And everything was just really like this whole list of the things that they just wanted to tick off. And there was nothing, no commentary, no talk at all about going there and experiencing the culture, learning from others, feeling how they're, what's life like to live in this particular city or this little town or this part of the world. It was really, no, there's an icon, I want to go see it, tick, move on to the next one. And I thought, wow, you're missing the whole point of travel.
Yeah, it is so true, because that's what I was thinking about. Like even my family members, like they never really travel the way I traveled. I don't know, but I can see the big difference between people, how they travel. Because it's, I always, when I travel, I'm going at least for 1 month. I know not everybody can do it, but I believe everybody can take 1 month off from any kind of work. And I always say 1 month is the time that you can actually browse around, walk around, because the walking is the best, and really talk to people, like really ask them and talk and interact. And that's why I was moving countries. When I actually went somewhere, I just moved. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm staying. Because to understand the culture, even in Thailand, was amazing. Like, that's just, their values are so different, and I wouldn't be able to understand that ever when I will be there for just holidays, just vacation.
That's touching on what Wendy was saying, where you're actually immersing yourself in the culture of the experience and the location of where you are. What a way to enrich your own life by learning from others.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I love that, and I miss traveling so much. But I will just actually mention, because we started to talk about culture, and I was thinking actually the business and companies' cultures or organizational cultures. Values are very important in any kind of business. That's why we have also values for the business. And why is that? Because when you are even like sole trader, and you're starting to work with some people, I don't know, like for example, I'm working with a person, with the girl. She's my creative director, and she's going to do some events with me. And I'm working with digital marketers. I'm working with you, Dave. It's a few different people that I'm already working with, even if we are not in one company, but we need to have clear our values. And it's, open communication and being honest and all the things that you want to have actually within your company. And you want people to understand that you're actually the person they have to come and tell, even if it's something wrong, if it's something bad, they have to come and to tell you, because the worst thing you can do is that they don't tell you, and you will find out after 3 or 4 months. That means I'm really making clear this, even with when we started to do some events. I was like, look, we actually wrote it down. We said, this is what we want to have in our relationship. We want to tell each other, like, you suck, I suck, like we want to tell each other when it's something wrong. And we don't want to, keep that anger or frustration inside. We want to be really open to each other. And I have the same connection with you. And that's something that will be always going with me in any company. And that was always when I had my event company for 9 years. That was the only thing that how I was able to connect 25 people at one place during the weekend and let them go. And again, some different people connect, 25, 50 people sometimes when we had huge events, and actually make them work together. That's why you need to be clear on your values. And when I was working in corporates, I know there's a lot of people coming from corporate world that, every corporate, every big business organization they have their own values. And it's important because values are creating that environment and making the team work together same way. And they know, what is the integrity, what we need to value, what we need to do, how we can make decisions. That's why it's so important in business as well, guys. We're not talking only about families and personal life. I just felt like I need to add something around business as well, because
yeah, actually, you make a good point. I've had a some time ago now, but I certainly did my time in the corporate world, and the noticeable difference from the corporate to the small businesses, businesses and business owners will often sit there and think about, what do I want the client experience to be? So they're looking at the external. What are their deliverables? Is it on time? Is it promising what they say they're going to do? There's all that sort of stuff. So there's all these external and measurements and values around the client experience, but often they neglect what's the internal experience. How do they want this? What's the experience they want to have their staff to have for their joint venture partnerships, for their supply chains and so forth. So they don't actually look at those internal values that they have with the important internal operations of the business. So they're just so external focused. So it's very important that you look through the lens from those different aspects.
And I will just add, because we were creating hiring sessions for big companies as well, and we actually did hiring sessions based on values, because you know that you can't really change people's, I would say, attitude or personality. And if their values are not aligned with your values of your company, it's really hard to change, and you will have just problem with the person. That means we always try to tailor every training and every hiring session based on, for example, communication, risk-taking, or thrive in change. That was very important for us, because that was the company that were going through a lot of changes and really, really challenging times sometimes. And you have so many people that you need to take care of. And they have had to be really prepared to react the way they actually not react, emotionally, but they know what to do, and they're prepared for that, and they will be smiling. And even if it's really big crisis, they will always do it a proper way. And that was really hard, but we did 5 days hiring sessions. That means, guys, if you need to hire some people, just let me know, because I can really drill down. They hated me at the end, because people we were hiring, they were suffering at the session, but we hired the best people for the team.
Alex, I did some work with a company it was November, December of last year, and they had 25 or 26 staff, and they were looking to hire a new foreman manager, so to speak. And one of the frustrations that they had was that they had this particular technical skill competencies that these people had to have, because it was in a let's just say an industrial format. But none of the things that they were measuring were about, do they have good leadership skills? Can they motivate a team? Can they work with people that are perhaps not as skilled as they need to be, or don't have the competencies, and grow them through? And the whole concept, the guy couldn't see that was important. He just, no, they just got to have the technical understanding and everything will sort itself out. And I said, well, this is why you've gone through 3 managers in the last 2 years, because you keep hiring for someone that's got skills, but they're an absolute arsehole in the workforce. And so what happens is none of your people on the floor want to work for that person, so you don't get the productivity. So how about we change it and do a whole different approach?
Yes.
Let's actually employ someone that maybe doesn't have all these skill sets, but knows how to get a team. You've got the technical competencies in your staff. Or you just need someone who's to help get the best out of those people. And it's actually changed the whole business dynamic and how they work.
That's so important. That's so important. And I believe a lot of people here will agree that culture is important, and you need to take the culture through the hiring sessions or working in a team. And exactly how you said, like skills, you can learn skills. You can train someone in 2-3 weeks, maybe 1 month. And you always need to train your new people coming, your people that are coming to your company. You need to train them, because they always using different platforms in every corporate or every company. That means it's easy thing, but you can't change attitude, you can't change values, and you can't change someone's thinking.
Yeah. We've got a few comments. Marilyn has put she falls in love with people and cultures from around the world. Oh, I love that. That is gold. Hang on, there we go. My scroll wasn't playing.
Mark said it should always to be like that. Yeah, when hiring people, I agree, Mark. It should be like that, but people don't know. A lot of people still not doing that, and I absolutely agree. You're right.
Wendy's got clear communication is essential in any team. Hidden agendas can be so toxic. Absolutely, Wendy. Thanks for that. That's just spot on. Wendy's got a fly. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So do you want to drill down into what the exercise is, what the homework is, Alex? Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would like to just wrap up that with that 2 questions that can help you to understand your values. That means just go there where you actually, the time in the past when you really feel fulfilled, you feel happy, what were you were doing and how did you feel? Like just really go back and try to think about that. And there will be a few steps I would like you to do around clarity or clarification of your values. And first thing, I want to ask you a question in the context of life. What is important to you? And anything what will come up to your mind, just write down. I would love you to have at least 20 values or 30 values, or whatever will come up. And ask this question maybe 3 times because you usually are going like 5, 6 values, 7, and you're like, I think that's it. But ask yourself again, in the context of life, what else is important to you? And ask the question again. If you stopped right and just ask again, try to put together at least 20, 25 values. It's very important that you will drill down everything. And now without even thinking, you will have the second task. You just go into that list and you start to number them. What is number 1? That means most important to you, and go 2, 3, 4, 5 to 20. Don't think about it a lot. Just do it. Just create your like an old hierarchy of values. And after that, you will need probably a few minutes for this. I will say I urge you to have at least 30 minutes. Write down the values, create an old hierarchy of values. And now you will have time to design your destiny and design your vision and design your life. And that's the most important part, because as Dave mentioned, we were talking about health. And if you want to be healthy, looking good, have a lot of energy, and you see that person, that's you see the vision of that person, very healthy, good looking. If you want that, you probably need to put health to your first top priority. But now you can actually design that, and you can create the top 10 priorities or 7, whatever works for you, but create top 5, top 10 priorities that will actually take you to that vision about yourself and life. Just really think about that, what you must change, I would say, because that will be so important to create your new hierarchy of values. And that will be your vision, destiny 1, or desired goals 1. That means when you see yourself somewhere in the future, in a year or half a year, and you know what you want, what is your vision, just go there and create the values that you need.
I've got a bit of a tip there, Alex. Like, that's a really great question in the context of life. What's important to me? If you find yourself getting stuck, start to think about the categories of life, and I'll give you them. We'll talk about the life wheel another time maybe, but you start to think in the context of finances. What's important to me in terms of the finances or financial security in my life? What's important to me from a health perspective? That's physical, mental, emotional, spiritually. What's important in my relationship with my intimate partner, with my kids, with my extended friends and family? What's important to me in the context of my career, my work, my occupation goals? What's important in the context of fun and adventure in my life, happiness and fulfillment in that category? What's important from perhaps an ongoing personal development and education perspective, and what's important from a community aspect in terms of how do I give and receive to and from the community, micro and macro.
Yeah, I guess also it's what is important. I think people need to choose categories, even if you talk about wheel of life. What categories are even important to them, if that is health, if that is actually finance? Because for some people, finance are not that important because they are happy what they have, and basically they try to focus on adventure or relationships. That means I will probably just kind of don't put any borders there, like just try to really...
that was literally just areas to consider if you find yourself stuck. What other things can we look at? How can I, in the context of my life, or what part of my life? Okay, that. Well, let's have a look at that. It might not be important to you, so move to the next one.
Yes, Thank you very much for that. Yeah, definitely. I think we are at the end, 35 minutes today. Guys, keep doing some comments, keep going. We will come back to comments and answer your questions, and I will put together your worksheet with questions. And if you will have time today, just jump into that, because this is kind of like closure on our mindset tools, and we will start with marketing and sales from tomorrow. And I hope you had fun, and I hope this will open another doors and help you to put ingredients together and create an amazing cake life.
Cool. Have a good day, everyone.
Yeah. Have a good day. Thank you very much. Bye.